Welcome back. You're watching The Dawn Show. So we're back with Dr. Lori. Let's get the stuff that you can talk about, value. Yeah. I brought some toys from, I think these were Michael's, so they're like 10 or 11 years old.
Recognizable. Yeah, recognizable brands are very, very popular. We were impressed that the Energizer Bunny still has the sunglasses on, so that was pretty good knowing, you know, your two little boys. But basically, those are nice. In terms of value, they're probably going to come up somewhere between 25 and 50 bucks, as opposed to the non-branded stuffed animals, which are like $5. See the difference?
Yeah.
So because they have an obvious, you know, recognizability, this particular piece, of course, Big Bird is always going to bring some good money. So probably somewhere between $50 and $75 in good condition.
Wow.
Yeah, in good condition. So
they're
nice.
Good thing to save, or if you pick them up at a yard sale, they have value.
Right, they have value. We're going to talk about how do you tell, because at all of my events all over the country, people go, how do you tell? How do you tell? So basically, one of the things that we want to think about is we want to think about metals. I see a lot of mechanical banks. So if you'll hit the little watch how it works, and there we go. Yeah,
oh, that's
so
cute.
That's cute, right? Now, this is a reproduction mechanical bank. How do you tell? Basically, if you see the shiny nature of the actual pigment, if it's been painted over, I always say, if you're not Picasso, don't repaint it, okay? And basically, it's no different than if we took some nail polish. You hold that? If you took some nail polish and you went like this. Nail polish lacquer has an acrylic in it, like acrylics on our nails. It will actually dry to a shiny coat. If you see shiny on your pieces, you probably have a new piece. It's probably not worth as much. Reproduction value on that, about 75 bucks. The real thing, not the shiny pigment on top of it, that particular piece is worth more like 400.
Wow.
Wow.
Adorable little Scotty dog.
Yeah, little Scotty dog. They were, of course, door stops in the early part of the 1900s. So you get a sense, and it's just that simple. If you see it too shiny, it's particularly on metal, it's probably a little bit younger.
Okay.
Okay.
We have Joan from Long Island with some crystals, a box of crystals. Hi, Joan. You're on The Dawn Show.
Hi.
Hi,
Thanks
Joan.
very much, Dr. Laurie. Good talking to you.
Hi, honey. How
yes,
are you?
I inherited. I'm fine, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
Hello?
Where are you calling from on Long Island?
Smithtown.
Oh, Smithtown.
Southeast.
Okay. Okay. Not too far from my home.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you bring? What do you have?
Oh, that's right. My daughter lives in Connecticut, and I'm often on that ferry.
You got to go on that ferry to Port Jeff, back and forth.
Port Jefferson.
What? So you have some crystals? They're telling me.
Yes, I just inherited from a cousin who was single and traveled a great deal the last 15 years of her life. She bought, when she was in Austria, 2 beautiful Swarovski crystal, silver crystal, water lily candle holders. Never took them out of the original box.
Okay, that's good.
I was responsible for taking care. Yeah. They're medium size.
What does that mean, medium size? Whoa. Hold, stop. What does that mean, medium size? Are they 4 inches? Are they 6?
You're right. The small ones are, they came originally, they were made in small, medium, and large. The small and the large are still retailing. The small is 2 inches, the large is...
Joan, give me a measurement.
Mine is about 3 3/4 by 2.
That's what I want to know. And the reason I need to know that is that these are specifics. I don't want to hear, oh, what's retailing, what's this, what's selling on eBay, because none of that is accurate information. What is a fact is how big is it? So you're telling me it's almost about 4 inches tall. They are a pair of candlesticks, and they're Swarovski crystal, right?
Silver crystal.
Silver crystal.
Isn't that important?
Oh, that is important.
Yeah.
Okay. In the original box, increases value by about 10%, and her pieces are worth about $175 for the pair. Thanks for calling.
Thank you for calling.
Have a nice sunny day in Long Island. So you want to think about the original boxes. The original box will increase value. We don't want to put tape on it, or duct tape, or masking tape, or any of that kind of stuff. So you want to think about that. And you want to think about the foundation of a piece. And here's an example about the foundation of a piece. This is a silver tray. And you'd see this and you'd say, okay, it's a silver tray. It's got reticulated, which means it's punched out, right? Fancy word for punched out. It's got some scroll work, right? And it has been, of course, utilized over the years. On the back, it's marked quadruple plate, which means it's dipped. It's not sterling. If it were actual sterling, it would be marked sterling. So it says quadruple here. And then what I want you to understand is how to date this plate, because you're looking at it and you say, well, it could be from the 50s, it could be from the 30s, it could be from the early 1900s. This piece is copper, silver over copper. which means it's a piece of copper first, and then they 4 times plate it, quadruple plate, into the silver. If you see how we rubbed it, you can actually see the copper down here.
Coming through.
You see it coming through? That tells me this piece has to date to 1905. Because after 1910, you don't see copper over silver as much. You see other alloys, cheaper metals. Copper is very durable, very strong, and silver is not. And it's, of course, cheaper to make a big plate like this in copper and then just dip it, do the overlay of silver. So this kind of information, sometimes when something's damaged, at a yard sale, at an estate sale, maybe even at an antique store, you can learn a lot about its date and how to identify its date by looking at sort of the bad parts. And that brings me to another point. With ceramics, a lot of people have ceramics and people don't realize what you should look for in ceramics is, in fact, I'm going to pick this one up for you.
She's beautiful. I love this.
Yeah, she's very 1960s, the exotic
Yes.
revival, right? So she's sort of almost a la Carmen Miranda. She forgot the fruit on her head. But this particular piece shows you it's called chalkware. Now, is this something you put in the dumpster or not? What do you think?
Oh, I would not.
You
I
would
love
not.
that.
You love this, right? In terms of quality, she's very low quality. But she's of a type, of an era. She sort of speaks to a particular time period.
She's fun.
She's fun. How do you tell if you have a piece of chalkware or an actually very good piece of terracotta? You see her foot here? Another piece of damage where it's going to actually reveal some information. If she were a good piece, her foot would be the same color as her leg.
Ah.
Okay? But chalkware is made of that chalky, plaster of Paris, cheap stuff, and she's molded and then painted. What you want is something that actually is the exact same ceramic color all the way through the object.
Ah.
Yeah.
So is she still valuable?
She's probably worth about $60.
Okay.
And more so for her interest right now. You know, we always talk about what's trending. She's trending.
Yes.
Yeah, she's really trendy now. And so her value goes up a little. 10 years from now, her value will sink again.
Got it.
Just kind of like the stocks, up and down, up and down.
Up and down, and we'll have Brendan McGee to talk about that later.
Yeah, he's
But
the
more
expert
with
there.
Dr. Lori when we come right back. Got some good stuff.